Hey, book besties. Welcome to More Than a Book Club podcast. I'm your host, Leyna.
And I'm your other host, LJ.
And today, what are we talking about, LJ?
We are talking about Frederick Bachman's book, My Friends, his most recent release. And it's just us, which this summer has been the summer of authors, which has been such a gift. We are so thankful for every single author who has agreed to participate in our podcast, because we know that you are doing such a service for us, and we are glad to promote you and share your amazing books. So it has been great, but I'm so excited though for it to just be us, because we haven't had that in a while.
And it's nice because whenever we do the author interviews, it's fun to bring them into our chatting, I guess. And it feels, I think, so we interviewed someone yesterday that's going to air August 4th,
Woo-hoo.
Jennifer Jabaley, not Jabaley, Jennifer Jabaley. Who wrote What's Yours Is Mine. And she was like, I feel like I just sat down and had supper with y'all. And I think that's the vibe that I can get behind.
Me
I like
too.
That.
I like that vibe too. I think, and like you say, like our podcast is more than a book club, because we are more than a book club, because we have these connections that go beyond. And it is fun when we get these authors on and they talk about more than their book, because we get to know them and get a little piece of them.
A sneak peek. Like, I feel like it's wonderful to get to know the person behind the book.
Mm-hmm. So. And I feel like now that they're like my besties too.
I know. I love everyone that we've interviewed. I'm like, you're my best friend and you're my best friend.
Yes. I'm like, I want to hang out. I want to go where you are and hang out. Like, we have been so fortunate. So for real, thank you to all of the authors that we have spoken to recently, because it's just been a delight and just so much fun for us.
It has. It's been just so much fun. I've really enjoyed it. And I think that it's time for us now to turn to one of my favorite parts. It's literary lately. I get to hear what you've been reading. You get to hear what I've been reading, what we've been doing in the literary space. So what have you been doing literary lately?
Well, before I talk about that, I have to say that Leyna and I were comparing notes before we started recording, and we were so excited to discover, since the last time we did this was a few weeks ago, we both finished 10 books.
So double digits.
I know. I feel like, and it's not even the end of the month yet. I'm like, oh my goodness, where is it going to go? Because I think the most I've read in a month this year is 11, maybe 12. And so I'm like, I mean, school's about to start for me. I'm about to go back to work before students do, so maybe not, but it's so fun. So let's see. Like I said, I finished 10 books. So I finished Jurassic Park, which I did say the last time that I was probably going to finish it really quickly.
That day, right? Yeah.
Yep. And then I read a school book called Giving Students a Say. Then Riley Sager's new book, With a Vengeance. And I would say all of these, I'm trying to see. I think all of these that I'm going to tell you about got 4 or 5 stars. But anyway, so we'll keep going.
Riley Sager, I want to hear about it.
Okay, I will tell you. So my favorite Riley Sager, and I discovered I have read all but one. I did not read the one that was released last year, because he typically releases one around June. And that's the only one I haven't read. So this year, I would say is my second favorite. It was very well done. I really enjoyed it. It was kind of like if you take Agatha Christie's and Then There Were None and Murder on the Orient Express, and they got married and had a child.
Okay, I think I remember you talking about this. One of our friends had a birthday, Emily, and so we got to go celebrate her, and you were talking about this book, and the cover even has a train on it, right?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so it's very much Murder on the Orient Express.
It is. Theme. And so, but it's its own story, and it was very entertaining. I could not put it down. Okay. And then the next one was Filthy Rich Fae, because I had to read the first book before I could read the second book, because that's who we just recorded with. We talked about this book, which is Fallen Court, and it's the second book, which I like that she puts this on here, the second book in the Filthy Rich Fae series. And that one just came out. I believe both of these are on Kindle Unlimited. And you can hear us talk all about that next week. You get to hear our interview. Oh, no.
Well,
that was this week.
That was
Damn
last.
It.
Nope. So you guys got to hear us talk about Geneva Lee, or talk with Geneva Lee.
Last week.
You know what? Interviewing her, I could see that she had something like if you watched our YouTube, if you watched us on Spotify, she had like a sign behind her that had words on it, and our screens whenever I'm recording are like itsy
It's,
bitsy.
yeah.
Like I can just see like a little part of what's
hmm
actually in the end presented. And behind her, the words, it was, it's the heart that makes it great. And that's what I
Aw,
have tattooed on my leg. And I'm
I
like, oh,
love
I
it.
could have connected with her.
Well,
And
maybe
I,
she's listening.
I'm like, Geneva, are you a fan of what movie was it? It's the baseball movie, A League of Their Own. That's where I heard the quote from. I don't know if that's where
Yeah,
she heard it, but anyway, yeah,
that's
I
so
thought that was pretty
cool.
funny. I was like, funny. But yes,
That is really cool.
this past week was Geneva Lee, so that would have been released on Monday, July 21st.
Yes. And so you can go listen to that, and we talk with her and all about her books. Then I also read another school book, Talk, Read, Talk, Write, A Practical Routine for Learning in All Content Areas K through 12, which is about a strategy that and an activity that I've used before in school. And it was one where I wanted to kind of get a refresher of the ideas so that I have more variety of things. And it was really good. So if you're a teacher of any level, I would recommend that. And then I listened to a book that I know Leyna has listened to. Everything is Tuberculosis. Did you listen? Or
Yes,
yes.
I
And
listened.
that was really interesting. So if you haven't listened or read that one, you definitely should. It's by John Green, yes, of like Paper Towns and The Fault in Our Stars, which are very
It was
sad.
so good. It was
It
so
was so
good.
good. It was so interesting. So if you might be like, well, that sounds boring. I promise you it's not. You will be
It's
like,
nonfiction, but
it
it's
is not.
riveting nonfiction.
It is
Like,
riveting nonfiction, and it's short. It's
mhm.
not super long. Okay, so the next was when I finished Fallen Court. Then I finished The Lost World, the second book in the Jurassic Park series, and that was fun. It was just like, again, I don't know what's wrong with me, but Jurassic Park and The Lost World are like a hug to me, and I kept having these cozy feelings, and I was like, there is something seriously wrong with me, but that's okay. It is what it is, and with that too, I also leading up to the release of the new Jurassic World movie, I rewatched all of the movies, and so then I reread these books, and so then I went with my children to the new Jurassic World movie. And I will tell you, if you are like a crazy fan like me, obviously nothing can top the first Jurassic Park. Just nothing ever will. I would say Jurassic World is the Jurassic Park of the younger generation. It's very similar. But this one, of all the sequels for the different ones, I would say this is a pretty good sequel because it goes in its own way and it is connected, but it's not like I feel like so many take place in a park, or these last couple have had like bigger issues, like more worldwide issues, and it's more just about the dinosaurs and people, and it was good. I would recommend it. Then I read one that Leyna had me get when we were at Neighbor Books, which we will
And
have
it
to
was
talk about that in
good.
a minute too. And we went to go see Sarah Damoff, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But the Sally Hepworth book, The Good Sister, was there, and Leyna was in the used book section. And so Leyna was like, oh my gosh, it's a good book. I couldn't put it down. So I got it. And yeah, as soon as I started, I could not put it down. I read it in less than 24 hours,
I
I think.
love Sally Hepworth.
Yeah,
She just has a way
she
with
does.
her
She
books.
does.
And have you read any others? I know you read Darling Girls.
I've read Darling Girls, and The Soulmate, I think I read.
Okay. She
But
has
that's
another one. Oh, what's it called? I can't remember it off the top of my head now, but she has another one that's really good. It's like The
okay, you're
Good
gonna have to find it.
Wife
Okay, you're gonna have to find out and tell me,
or
and
The
I will read it.
Mother-in-Law. Yeah. It's
Okay.
maybe it's The Mother-in-Law. It's
Okay.
really good though.
Okay, I will have to get that. And then the last book that I finished is right here. What's Yours is Mine, which next
Woohoo!
week you will get to hear all about this book with Jennifer Jabali. Did I say it right?
You did.
Okay, good job, me. Because we kept making Leyna say it last night, and I
And I'm
was
the worst at
like,
saying names. I feel like I am the worst.
that's okay.
I
So,
think because I get so paranoid because
mm,
nobody can ever pronounce my name. And
mhm.
so I just want to make sure that everybody's name is
Yeah,
pronounced.
of
But
course.
then I get in my head about it, and then all I can think about is the wrong way to say it.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Well, and just, I'm not going to tell you anything about this book. It's not out yet, so you can't get it, but you can pre order it. But next week's episode is all about it. And I will tell you, Leyna read it in 48 hours. And then she gave it to me and she's like, and I'm like looking at this, I had just a couple of days till we were going to interview Jennifer. And so then I'm like, oh my gosh, but literally once I started, I could not put it down and finished it in 24 hours. So, but you'll get to hear, you want to hear all about it next
And
week.
that was a moment whenever you were like, I'm a mood reader. I want to read what I'm in the
Yes.
mood for. And I was
Oh,
like, trust me, you will like it. And as soon as you started reading it, you're like, yep.
yep. Couldn't put it down. It was so
One
good.
sitting.
So you'll have to do that. Okay. That's all of mine besides the Sarah Damoff thing. But do you want to share your books first and then we can talk about her, or do you want to talk about her first?
What are you currently reading?
Oh, I didn't even think about that. What am I currently reading?
That's
Oh
the
my
question that
gosh.
always puts people on the spot and they're like, oh crap, I
I
read
was
books.
not I was not prepared for that. I have to look at my Okay, the book is literally sitting over here. I am reading Crucial Confrontations,
That's
which
right.
when we did our episode about not self-help, self-improvement or whatever we called it, books, I talked about Crucial Conversations. And that is a book that I reread every couple of years. It's so good. Everyone should read it. Well, this one is another book. They have a few books in this series.
Mhm.
And I was like, you know what? I kind of want a refresher. I know that I'm going to read Crucial Conversations with my students this year for Stuco. So I was like, okay, I have this book. I should just finally read it. And it has been really good because it really focuses in on when you have some high stakes conversation that needs to happen
Mhm.
and just how to go about it. And then it also kind of gives you guidelines for, okay, you need to see, is this even worth addressing? Because it may or may not. And you have to look at like the different layers of that. And it just teaches you how to do all of that.
Both of
And
those books sound so good
they're
and so
yeah,
crucial.
they are crucial. And so
The
I felt
title
like,
fits.
I feel like with this, like I'm going to a new school where I literally, I think, knew one person. And so all these people are new. And when you don't know people, you don't know how people are going to be. And not that I anticipate needing this, but in the couple of roles that I'm in, there's a very good chance I'm going to have to confront stuff, plus just with students in general.
Right.
And so I felt like it was a good, little professional development book to read this
Yeah.
summer. So I'm enjoying it. And that is the only thing that I'm reading right now. So maybe after this, I need to go find some fiction. Oh, you know what I need to read? Our July book club book.
Have you not read the Busybody Book Club?
I have not.
It's
I
so good.
I
You're
know.
gonna love it.
It's on my nightstand. So that's what
Okay.
I need to do tonight. I'm gonna start it tonight. That's what I'm gonna do.
I bet you finish it by tomorrow.
Oh, that's so exciting. Oh,
It
yay,
it was
another
a
one.
good read, and it's very Agatha Christie-esque. Like
I'm excited.
that's the main one of the main characters. That's her favorite author. So everything
Oh,
is
it's gonna
kind
be
of
so fun.
yeah. You'll love it. I promise.
All right, why
Um,
don't you tell
let's
us your literary lately, and
okay.
then we'll come to
Okay.
Sarah Damoff.
So I also read Filthy Rich Fae Fallen Court. I'd already read the first one, so now I read the
Mm-hmm.
second one. Um, What's yours is mine. And then I handed that off to you, and I was like, "Yay!"
Oh, so good.
I yeah, we'll talk about it next episode. But I did
Mhm.
not see the twists and turns coming. She did a very good job with that.
I guessed, but I guess that's what I do. I just pick a route and got lucky.
And then I read a couple of books that were Christmassy books because it's Christmas in July. That was my
Yes.
theme, and I was trying to read a bunch of Christmas books, but I read a few, and I'm going to call it good. So I
Hmm.
read Everyone This Christmas Has a Secret, and
Ooh.
it is by the same person that everyone in my family has killed someone.
Oh, that's funny that it's a Christmas book.
And it even talks about that, like the author, he's kind of narrating it, and he's like, well, I had to go with this whole trope because all of the big mystery writers write a a Christmas book.
I mean, I
Uh,
guess that's true. I have seen some of those
there's
over the years.
Hercule Poirot, however you say his name,
Yeah,
he has
Hercule
one.
Poirot's Christmas.
He was talking about that and kind of bringing it up, and I was like, okay,
Well,
so I see that.
and Mary Higgins Clark in the 90s, when I was reading all of her books,
Yes.
she had a Christmas one too.
Mhm. So it was
So yeah.
it was a fun book. It wasn't like the best book ever, but I don't remember really enjoying Everyone in my family has killed
Okay.
someone. Um, like it was like a maybe 3-star, but this was I thought it was a 4-star. And it made me
Oh,
want to go back and
fun.
read the second book. So I'm like, well, maybe I just like the series now.
Oh,
Um,
I love it. That's fun though.
and then I read The Page Turner, which was about a family of literary authors, which is always a fun concept to read about people that write books. Then I read The Busybody Book Club, which is our July book, which I think everybody's going to love. And then A Boy Called Christmas, it's a Netflix movie, and it's by Matt Haig, however you say that name.
Oh, the guy that did the Midnight Library? Is that what it was?
Yes, I think.
Okay.
Let me double check because it was by someone that had written something else. I know that. That's how sure I am of this. Yeah, Matt Haig.
Okay, cool.
It's a series, I guess. So A Boy
Oh,
Called Christmas, and then there's other books that come after it. I thought it was enjoyable. And then I read Ashley Poston's new book, Sounds Like Love, which I
ooh.
really enjoyed, and it was so sweet. I went back and forth. If Goodreads gave half stars, I would have given it 4.5 stars, but they didn't, so I gave it 5 because
Okay.
I rounded up.
I love
There
it.
was one little continuity error that
Mm.
got me, and I was like, wait a minute, but I wasn't going to go back and reread from the very beginning to see if it
Hmm.
was actually continuity. Like, I feel like it was, but
Yeah.
anyway. So that kind of got me. But other than that, it was a really good book. One of my favorites of hers that she's written. And if you like, it does do, I don't know if you call it magical realism, paranormal. I'm not exactly sure what words to
Okay.
use for that, but it has a romance with some paranormal magic-y aspects. So
It
it's fun.
probably is, I would think magical realism. Because
Would
like
fit
the
that
only book
category.
that I can tell you that is exactly magical realism is, and it's also a movie, like Water for Chocolate. And I don't know if you've
I haven't
ever
read
seen it.
that.
It's a little bit crazy. It's Spanish. It's crazy. The movie has major nudity because that does happen in the story. Like, anyway, there's a girl that runs through a field naked. I think she rides a horse naked too. Like, it's just crazy. But it does have magical realism. So I don't know. It's one of those. So
Yeah,
paranormal, whatever.
something. But it
But
was a
yeah,
good
but I need
book.
to read it. I need to
Hmm.
read it.
Have you read any of her books?
No, and you keep telling,
Okay.
what is the one? Is this the Dead Romantics?
Yes. So
Okay,
she
that's the
wrote
one
Dead
I have got.
Romantics, a novel love story, I think.
Okay, I'm gonna see
Seven
about
Year
this.
Slip.
That's the one you and Emily read recently, or you told
Hmm.
Emily about recently. Okay,
But
The
they're all, I
Dead.
think The Dead Romantics was probably one of my favorites.
Well, yeah, you've said that before. So I'm like, oh, I put the Red Romantics. So of course it's like, I'm
That's
like,
going to
what
be
are
a whole
these?
different book.
Yeah. I'm like, that's not the same.
And
It's
then
only $8.99. Let me see if I can
um,
get it from the library. Keep talking.
my other book club, Neighbor Books, they read
Yes.
Run for the Hills by Kevin Kline, which I'm always going to get it wrong. It's the book about exploding children. Um,
Wait.
I,
Is this Kevin Kline like the actor?
and I keep messing up his name too, apparently. It's
I
not
don't
Kevin
know.
Kline. I keep
Oh,
calling him Kevin Kline. Kevin
oh my God.
Wilson. Kevin
Oh,
Wilson.
hey, it's
He's
okay.
he's not
It's
a
fine.
Wilson brother, but Nothing to
But
See
still,
Here is the other book I was thinking about with the exploding
okay.
children. I did not like that one, but I really liked Run for the Hills. Um,
Okay.
it was kind of a mixed bag for a lot of people in our book club. So that
Yeah.
was interesting, but I really enjoyed the characters in it. And then I read Winter Street, which was Ellen Hildebrand.
Uh-huh.
And I feel like you had said you had read that series.
No, I haven't ever read
You
any
haven't?
of her
Okay.
books.
Oh, well, there
I
you
know I
go.
need to because I heard
It
they're
was
good.
it was a good book. I gave it 3 stars just because some of it I was like, I don't know if I but like I imagine a Christmas story not
Uh-huh.
to be like wholesome, but there was like a character that they flashed back to the 80s and they were doing
Oh.
cocaine and
Oh.
and there was some like other stuff
Okay.
that I was just like, I don't know. But it left it on a cliffhanger, so now I want to go read the second one because it's a series too. So she got me.
She
Um,
got you.
and then I read The Husbands. I just finished that one today, and
Okay.
that is by Holly Gramazio. That one was really fun.
Really?
So this lady comes home. It's British. They come home from a Hindu,
Okay.
like a bachelorette party,
Okay.
and a man walks down from the attic and it's her husband, but she's not married.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
every time she sends her husband up to the attic, he
Hmm.
comes down as a different husband.
Okay.
So then she's married to someone else. And then she's like, I don't like you. So go up to the attic. And then he goes up to the attic and another guy comes down. So she's just like constantly marrying to different people and her life changes. So things around her change, like her friends will change. Her family has kind of changed based on like all of
Interesting.
kind of like a sliding doors. What would happen if I did this? What would happen if I
Yeah.
did that? So it's kind of a fun concept. I thought, a very enjoyable read. I gave it 4 stars. So,
Very
but
cool. That does
those are
sound fun.
the 10 books that I read. And then
Woohoo!
I picked up, so last night was the Neighbor Books book club. And while I was there, I picked up Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Denneman. And I have seen this book everywhere. Have you seen it?
No,
Like
I've never seen
everywhere
that.
it's been popping up. Maybe it's just appealing to my nerdiness. I don't know.
I don't know.
But I'm only a few chapters in, but the end of the world happened and
Okay.
a sign comes up and says, hey, you're now, if you go to this portal, you're part of this game and you have to make it through 18 levels to live.
Uh-huh.
Otherwise, you can try to live on what's remaining on Earth. And so he goes to do it. And now he's going through the dungeon. He's a dungeon crawler, but reminiscent of a video game and D&D and all of that. So that's fun. And then I'm reading The Secret History of the Rape Kit, a true crime
Oh.
story, which it's kind of about how the rape kit came to be because
Hmm.
it used to not exist.
Yeah.
And how do you catch people? And um,
And is it talking about how backed up the log is?
I haven't gotten to that part yet, but
Okay.
yes, I'm sure it will. It's a shorter book,
Okay.
and I'm only a couple hours into it. Like I think I'm almost halfway through, but
Hmm.
it's not hard to listen to because they don't talk about like
Rape.
actual
It's like the
rape.
kit.
It's more about how did this come to be. The woman who created it,
Hmm.
the author is kind of doing a deep dive on her, and she was in Chicago, and I'm learning about the Red Police of Chicago, who was like
I
a
don't know what that
secret.
is.
It was a secret unit, like kind of like an
Interesting.
open secret,
Hmm.
because they were basically going in, they were infiltrating groups looking for communism, is how it started. But then it got to be to where they would torture confessions and all, like it sounds crazy. Apparently there's like a
Yeah.
whole museum in Chicago
Oh my
about this.
gosh.
I'm like, now I want to go.
I know. My cousin lives in Chicago and her husband is from Chicago. I'm gonna have to be like, hey,
Have you ever
why
heard
haven't
of
you told
this?
yeah, like why haven't you told me about this? I'll just quiz them at Christmas. It's fine.
And see what they know. But
Yeah.
I'm learning from it, so that's always a good sign of a nonfiction book.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really cool.
But yeah, that's what I've been reading lately and what I'm currently reading. But
Hmm.
we did get to go see Sarah Damoff. We got to meet her in person,
Yes,
and she is just as sweet in person as she was on the podcast. And I
she
just love her.
is. It was so fun to get to go see her in person, give her a hug, get her autograph, take a
Yes.
picture, and we got to hear her speak again. And so that was
And
really
we learned
fun.
new things. And I got to ask the
We
question
did.
that I forgot to ask on the podcast. I was asking about on Instagram, she had posted pictures of a recipe for rhubarb pie. And I was like, was that like your grandma's rhubarb pie? And then you've made the main characters, like, I guess it was her mother-in-law, but
Hmm.
she also was really famous for making this pie. And she was like, well, it just happened that we happened to find my husband's grandma's recipe for rhubarb pie because people thought it was real. And I had just kind of made it up. But she was like, we found this recipe and it worked. And I was like, hey, it fit perfectly.
It did. It did, which was so fun. And then I had a little surprise. I turned around and one of my former students from when I taught at Jasper High School in Plano ISD was there too. And so that was really fun. So shout out to Natalie. And it turns out that she is married to one of my other former students,
Aw, it's
Eric, which
so sweet.
I remember them like being friends back then. And as far as I know, they were not dating, but maybe they were. You know, sometimes I knew things, sometimes I didn't. But I just love it. I'm like, oh, my little Spanish baby's married.
That's
And
so sweet.
anyway, and she has a bookstagram too. So I should pull that up here. I got to go on my bookstagram. to
find it.
find it, but she has a Bookstagram, and it was really cute because she did a post and like had tagged Sarah Damoff and like had mentioned that, me, her teacher, was there, and Sarah was like, "Oh, that's so cool." And so it was really fun. Okay, let me see if I can
Was
find
fun.
this. But yeah, and she, like you said, she was just a delight. And okay, hers is at Nat Read That. And so it's a cute name. Y'all should go follow her. And she's just adorable. So you guys, you should go to Neighbor Books. If not, you should still get Sarah Damoff's book because we loved The Bright Years.
Love The Bright Years, and we love Sarah, and we want nothing but the best for her. And I seriously go read her book. It's very good. Neighbor Books was also doing a used book fair while we were there. And I picked up the second book for Lonesome Dove. I haven't started it yet because I was like, I should read Lonesome Dove first because it's been a few years. And then I looked it up and it's like 38 hours long. Like, I don't know if I have that capacity.
Yeah, like
right
you
now.
you told me it's so long. So,
it's so good, but it's so long. And then I was like, would I be able to read another really long cowboy book right after that? Would I have the capacity? I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know. To
but
be
I
determined.
have the book now.
You do have it. And that's where I got my The Good Sister that I read in less than 24 hours because it was so good. But yeah.
And
so I guess
then
that's
after we left, it was pouring rain.
Oh my gosh.
It wasn't like little sprinkles. It
No.
was full on Texas downpour. And
like you could not walk. If you walked a block, you were soaked. And neither
poor
of us
LJ had flip-flops on.
I did.
Just
I was like gonna fall. Yeah, it's fine. And so then it didn't, like Leyna's car was closer, so I went to her car. But I'm telling you, like you go like half a block and you were completely soaked. That's how hard it was raining. And neither of us were parked that close. I mean, we weren't that far, but we weren't that close.
It was like a little ways, but it was.
And we were soaked.
We were completely soaked.
But before that, when we first got there, we went and said hi and got our autographs. And then we went and got, Leyna ate, but we got, oh my gosh, I just forgot.
Espresso martinis.
I'm like, they were so good. What's the name of the restaurant? We should give them a shout out.
What is the name of that restaurant?
I have no idea.
It's really cute.
Yes, it is. It has
it's
a really
on the
fun
downtown
vibe.
McKinney Square.
It is. It's around the corner from Neighbor Books.
Right next to Hugs. We can give you all the details about it without naming it. Let's see.
I know, because I have no idea, but it really did have a cool vibe inside. Nice decor. It was fun. What is this place?
Fontina Ristorante.
There we go.
That's my Italian for you. They have like a mushroom ravioli, a truffle.
Oh my gosh.
Ravioli. It was so good. I gave some to LJ because I'm like, you have to try this.
I know. And I've been thinking about it. I'm like, I need to go back and get that because it was so good.
Their espresso martinis are delightful. I think they're some of the best that I've had if you're into that kind of thing. But
yes, which they are. I realize, Leyna, we're actually a couple of years behind the trend, but they're still trendy, I think. So.
You know what? I have liked them since they were trendy. So
I didn't even try them. I think it was last year, maybe year before last, I tried my first one because they were all drinking them on Summer House on Bravo. And I was like, well, I want to be cool like the people on Summer House,
I've always been a sucker for a martini. Like a dirty martini is the best. Like vodka dirty martini. That's my favorite drink, probably. Maybe.
I need to compare again because now I don't remember. Did I say I liked the gin?
I think
or the
you
vodka?
like the gin better.
Okay.
Because I was like, traitor.
But I think it's because I like the way gin tastes over vodka. I think that's why.
And I just had
in general.
way too many junior high. That was like
junior high.
My best friend, her dad drank a lot of like Beefeater gin, and so it was easy to sneak.
And so you're like, no more. That is too funny.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so now I'm like, that's all I remember. And we used to mix like all of the alcohol together.
Oh yeah.
With Kool-Aid.
Oh my gosh.
Like all kinds of random stuff together, and that's probably why I dislike it still. But
that would make sense. I think that would do it to anyone. So, yeah.
There you go. A youth
I feel
misspent.
I feel like Jen was like the like the alcohol that you could find at every party. Like I went to a small school and you would go to these parties and it would be like there would be a keg and then there would be a table where like just random people just put like they might have had like an open thing of vodka and just drop it off at the table. And then there would be all the mixers in it, you know, or if you went to a party and they had poured all the alcohol into like an ice chest and then people are scooping it out. And I avoided that because I was like, I'm not a germaphobe, but I kind of was a germaphobe for that. But
We would
I
have
feel
like a
like,
fancy punch bowl.
oh no, ours was not that. This was kind of trashy. But I feel like they mostly had like rum and vodka. And I think the fanciest thing that we had, well, we thought that Sky vodka was so cool
Oh,
because of the
well, that
blue
was when
bottle.
Sky Vodka had all the ads that was in like
Yes.
Rolling Stones and stuff. Do you remember that?
Yes. Yes.
My
So
sister used to
they,
have them taped up all over her wall. Like,
so yeah. So those were there. And then Malibu rum is what we
that
all
was
loved
my
so
my
much.
college drink was
Yes.
Malibu.
That was ours too. And you know what? Not anymore. So,
Nope.
nope. So that's my
Not
thing.
the
Your
same.
thing is gin. Mine is Malibu rum, which is really unfortunate because pina coladas are really good, but you can get them made with vodka and they still are good. It's just a
I
little
didn't know
different.
that. I don't think I've ever really enjoyed having a pina colada with
Oh,
alcohol in it. I'm like,
oh, well,
I
that's
still like
fair.
it without the
Just by
alcohol.
itself. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
but
cool. Yeah.
I think it's
Our,
time
to talk about our book.
to talk about our book. So we, like, I'm just going to be transparent here. We read
Yes.
My Friends
A little bit
a
ago.
month ago,
Yeah, we
6 weeks
did.
ago. We're going to see what we remember. This could be, I know that we both liked it.
We did. I would say loved it. I gave it 5
Yes,
stars.
5 stars. And I personally, I loved the found family aspects of it. I loved all the characters. They were Frederick Bachman.
It's
He
just
can make
amazing.
some funny characters. Like even if like heavy subjects, he can
Yeah,
bring the levity and
he really can.
the sarcastic main character. I just loved her.
Mm-hmm.
Louisa is
Mm-hmm.
she's our main character that we meet. We meet her at the start of the book. She's
Mm-hmm.
breaking into a church where they're doing an auction. Is that
Well, like I think she was able to get in. She
sneak
might have
in?
had to
Yeah,
sneak in, but like I think it was open to the public. So we think she snuck in maybe, or
she
it
snuck
was open to the
in
public.
and she is there to go see a painting.
Mm-hmm.
And it's what's the name of the painting? Do you remember
The
that?
painting is called The One of the Sea.
The One of the Sea. Yes, it's
Mm-hmm.
very
It's kind of,
minimalist.
it is minimalist and it's kind of, I don't know if, what would be the right word for it? Because I don't know that it'd be impressionist, but a little bit because there's hidden elements in it that like were intentionally they were put in plain sight, but a lot of people miss it. But you're right, it was a very simple painting, which makes it seem like you wouldn't miss something, but people misinterpreted it. But before we go any further, let me read the book description from Goodreads, which it says, #1 New York Times bestselling author Frederick Bachman returns with an unforgettably funny, deeply moving tale of 4 teenagers whose friendship creates a bond so powerful that it changes a complete stranger's life 25 years later. Most people don't even notice them, 3 tiny figures sitting at the end of a long pier in the corner of one of the most famous paintings in the world. Most people think it's just a depiction of the sea, but Louisa, an aspiring artist herself, knows otherwise. And she is determined to find out the story of these 3 enigmatic figures. 25 years earlier, in a distant seaside town, a group of teenagers find refuge from their bruising home lives by spending long summer days on an abandoned pier, telling silly jokes, sharing secrets, and committing small acts of rebellion. These lost souls find in each other a reason to get up each morning, a reason to dream, a reason to love. Out of that summer emerges a transcendent work of art, a painting that will unexpectedly be placed into 18-year-old Louisa's care. She embarks on a surprise-filled cross-country journey to learn how the painting came to be and to decide what to do with it. The closer she gets to the painting's birthplace, the more nervous she becomes about what she'll find. Louisa is proof that happy endings don't always take the form we expect in this stunning testament to the transformative, timeless power of friendship and art. And I think that says exactly what he does. He shows in every single one of his books that happy endings often are not the way we pictured them. There we go. Go, Frederick Bachman.
And if y'all don't remember, Frederick Bachman did A Man Called Uva.
I
He
think that's how you
did
say it.
the Beartown series, which
Mm-hmm.
I've only read the first one of that. Anxious
Anxious
People.
People, which I loved. I'm trying to
Um,
think.
what else? He's written a lot. Like
A lot,
he's
yes.
very prolific. A lot of his books deal with kind of heavy topics.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times, like Beartown is in a small town that's kind of down on its luck. And that's
Yes.
what this felt like too. We meet these characters from 25 years ago that they're in a small town,
Mm-hmm.
down on its luck. They're all, blue collar workers, dock workers, that kind of thing. Their parents are anyway.
Their parents are, yeah.
These are teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
We meet them as little kids and they grow up to be teenagers. But
Yes.
it was just he does a really good job of describing the
Mm-hmm.
grit and the tenacity you have to work your way out of that kind of dire situation, in my
Yeah, where
opinion.
your future seems like you can't escape it. Like you were stuck in a cycle
Mhm.
of like where parents did what the grandparents did, what did the great grandparents, and they're not able to move. But this shows like how together they could motivate each other and help each other to like it said, like to dream and to be able to go towards dream.
But he's also really good at saying that sometimes the cycles don't get broken.
Yes.
Because I think um, reading this book, as you're reading it, you're kind of finding out what happened to these young people these young people. I sound like an old person right there, but these kids that
Well,
grew
these
up,
teenagers, we'll say teens.
these teenagers, and what happened to them, because there's certain, I don't want to give anything away because there
Right.
is like a little bit of a mystery that goes with it about what's
Mm-hmm.
happening,
Mm-hmm.
and what does happen to all the different characters. But
Yes. We start out only knowing two of them. We didn't know what was going on because we only knew where.
and we only knew, was it two characters?
Well,
Well,
yes, because you meet the artist
you meet the artist
and
and you meet Louisa.
you meet which
Ted,
one is it? Hey, is it Ted? Is that his name? Okay, sure. That's who we meet. I
who's the
guess I didn't write
50-year-old
his.
man, even as a 10-year-old.
So we have the artist and the friend that is still that we know is still with him, and we don't have a clue. We kind of like you said, as the story progresses, we're going back in time in to current time, but I mean, you have to wait to
It's
find out.
And this is a thick book. Like this is
It
a
is.
big book. And I listened to it for that reason, because I was like, there's no way I'm going to sit down with this, because I'll just be intimidated by a book this big. So I
Yeah.
listened to it, and it's so beautifully narrated. Like I really enjoyed the narration of it and the audiobook and the unfurling of everything. Like
Mm-hmm.
the way that they did it was just really, really well done.
It was.
And kind of you understand more about the main character and how she fits in with this group. Like it's almost like they could have all been friends if they would have been born 25
Well,
if she would have been born
well,
25 years earlier.
and a repeated line that different characters say as they say something like, I found one of us,
Mhm.
or she's one of us, he's one of us. And it's kind of like that. Like she had one person in her life that meant something to her who had died. And she's all on her own. And then she meets these older men, and they had people that were like them. And that was really one of these people. The one that first met her was like, she's one of us. Like I found one of us. And I think that we all can understand that feeling. Like I think just thinking about this podcast and everything, there are readers and then there are readers. Like I'm like, we are readers. We are like, that sounds wrong. Anyone's a reader. You read one book a year, you're a reader. Okay. I'm not saying that. But there are people like us that read, like reading is a part of our personality almost.
Identity. Yes.
It's part of our identity. And
We
not
are
everyone.
book nerds. We are
book
besties.
nerds. Yes, we are book besties. And so are you, our listeners. And we have friends like that. But then it's always like interesting to try to gauge when you meet someone new and they're like, oh, yes, I love to read. And it's like, okay, do you love to read like I love to read? And a lot of times it's no, like it's a normal hobby for them, not an obsession. And that's great. But it does, like, I hate to say that, like, I would not say they're one of us. And that's not an insult to them. That's just saying for that part of our life. And so I remember just a cute story, and I've talked about her before. My former coworker, Hannah, who is Girls Gone Goodreads on Bookstagram. We met last year when she came to my school, and we're getting to know each other. And I don't remember how it came up one day. She might have had her Kindle with her, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you're reading. What are you reading? And she was telling me, and then we start talking about that. And I'm like, kind of trying to gauge. And I'm like, oh, she's a crazy reader like me. Like, I found one of us.
One
And that
of
was
us. One of us.
so exciting to find someone that, like, I was going to see every day at work, that we both loved books so much and we liked similar books. So I don't know. It just was great. And, it's just like we know when we find one of us, we know. And that's just like them. They had their own quirks and their own things that were part of their identity. And when they met Louisa, they're like, we found one of us.
I think it's that whole notion of found family. I mean, you're, I think Sarah Damoff said this. Everyone is born into a family. Everybody has parents.
Yes.
And you don't get to choose who they are. And I was thinking about this as I was reading this particular book, with her talking about it. You don't get to choose who your family is. And sometimes you're born into just not the greatest situations. And we see that with a lot of the characters here. Louisa, the main character that's, more present day, she, like, her mom, I believe, died, right? She's in foster care.
Yeah.
But so she just doesn't have that family structure there. She's been in group homes and not great situations. But even if you go back 25 years and you meet the characters that are in the painting and the artist, they don't have great family lives either. Like, there's a lot of just trauma that has just been generational, and they're trying to break that, but they have found this family and they're supporting each other. And I think, like you said, everybody has that, whether it's your book family, your work family. It's kind of that those people that you just identify with. And I always say, like, my sister is actually my stepsister from my mom's second marriage, but she's my family. Like, she's my found family. And you can't tell me she's not my sister. She's my sister.
No, she is.
And same thing with, the people that you pick up in your lives, and you get to choose who you bring into the fold. And I think that it defines you, who you have in your life.
It does. And I agree that, I think we all, we have all of different stories, and perhaps we acquire people, and even people like that marry into our family. Cause like you were saying about your sister, well, my stepmother and my dad have been divorced since early 2000s. And she is still, I consider her family. And I know she considers me family. And, we're not even like, she's not married into my family, but she will always be family to me. And they're close friends too. Like, you're part of my found family. Like, you are someone that has been there for me through, like, literally, Leyna was there for the hardest season of my life, which was just 2 years ago. And you are someone who will tell me straight. You will tell me when I'm doing something stupid in a nice way. She's very good at being diplomatic in the way she says it. And you're so supportive, and and you love me even when I do not take your good advice, and
well, I think that's the part about found family, is that you're going to have disagreements.
Yes.
You're not going to agree on everything. You're going to, like, fall apart.
Yeah.
But you're still going to come together because those are your people.
And we see that in this book.
Yes. That you're going to make dumb decisions, like, not you in particular, but
I have. It's okay. I have.
Hey, we all have. But people will make a dumb decision that could be detrimental to them, and their found family is going to stick with them. And
yes,
I think that's a big part of found family. It's the loyalty that you feel to them
Yes. And
and
the
what you're
love no
willing to
matter
do.
what.
Yep.
Hmm. And we
Unconditional
see
love.
that and we see that through this book because especially when I mean yes, in all parts of the book, but like when we look at how we get to see the friendships develop between the kids, they all have different things going on in their biological families. They have different things where what they found, like even one of them can't even say I love you. Like how do you I don't remember what they said instead of that. Was
I
it or
wish I
like
could remember because it
I
was,
don't know. I don't
I
know.
believe in you.
I think it was I believe in you or I believe you or something.
Yeah.
I think I believe you maybe. I don't know. It was a really good line and they knew that when that person said it, that's when
That's
they
what they
were trying to
meant.
say I
Mhm.
love you. And just yeah, I mean it was just so good the way the seeing the friendships and how it developed and then getting to see it happen again when we see Ted and Louisa becoming friends and
And
he
Louisa
is
is
just
so sarcastic, and he wants like nothing to do with her.
mhm. He does it
And
or he thinks that
he's only doing it because the artist
told him to.
wanted him. And the artist is the artist of the painting,
Yes.
and also one of Ted's best friends.
And so he wants him to do this and he's so annoyed by that. And just watching the evolution of even just a short period of time
Hmm.
of them together and just see how important they could become to each other and how he might not have thought he wanted her, he might not have wanted her, but he actually needed her
Hmm.
and she needed him. And I just love
And
that.
Frederick Bachman, he writes so beautifully as well. Like just poetic. Reading his book, it
Yes,
feels, and I'm like, how do you do that? Because this book was thick. Like it was a
it
big book,
was.
but
And
it
it's not
reads
boring at all. Like you read it
so
so fast.
nicely. Yeah. It was a fast read and you want to hear what's going to happen next and what's going to come out of their story. So you keep reading and it's just very beautifully done. There was lots of times that I'm like, "Oh, bookmark this, bookmark that," like
Yes.
that you want to stop and go back and reread that part because it
Hmm.
was just so pretty the way that he
It was so
worded something.
pretty.
He's very much a wordsmith and he's English is not his first language
No. And I
and
don't
these
know if
books are translated.
they are translated. Yeah. So the
Mhm.
fact that he must have had a good editor because words like this can't just, they don't
They don't
directly
just,
translate.
yeah.
And it's still a
So
beautiful book.
I'm not sure who his translator is, but they
I
do a
don't know either.
fantastic
They
job.
do a phenomenal job. So I have to bring up something that I don't
Okay.
know if you saw this. On Bookstagram, there was kind of like this big, like, oh my gosh, Frederick Bachman said he doesn't plan to write another book. And that is not what he said, actually.
Okay. Whew.
He said something like, I might not write another book. And what he meant was, at this time, he didn't have a story that he was working on.
Mm.
And he's like, you just never know. But despite him saying that, knowing that before I read the book, as I read it, I was like, you know what? This book does kind of feel like goodbye. And it would be a good book to end on. And I, you know, I hope he writes more because I think he's a phenomenal author. But just hearing that, it kind of like I looked at the book differently going in, and it reminded me of Jane Austen's Persuasion, not in story or anything. They're nothing alike like that or writing style. But that was the last novel that she wrote. And it is somewhat different than her others because it also feels kind of like a goodbye. And so to me, that's just what I thought of with this. And I also, what I have to say too, this is on a different topic though, kind of the, this whole, as we're following the life of the artist and learning more and more about him, I felt like that was Frederick Bachman.
I can see that. And one of the things that I wondered, they didn't really describe the setting that they were in or where they were. So it really felt like at first I was reading it and I'm like, oh, this is like New York. They're in New York City.
Hmm.
And then I was like, wait a minute, this is Frederick Bachman. They're probably some
Not.
Scandinavian place, right?
Right.
And so
Right.
I was like, no. And I think at some point they do mention something about Europe or something. So it kind of placed it
Mm-hmm.
in that region. But when I first started reading it, I was like, this could be America. Like this could be
Mm-hmm.
any town that, I mean, they talk about dock workers
Yeah.
specifically, but if you're thinking about like the Rust Belt, any type of industry that has just had an economic collapse is what I was thinking of. That
Yeah.
they're very hard workers, but maybe there's not a lot of work that they can do. And so they're just economically depressed. And
Yeah.
statistically, when you're economically depressed, one of the things that happens is you have alcoholism go hand in hand with that, and you have drug use and you have family violence.
Mm-hmm.
So just all of those different things kind of go with that. And I think we see that represented in this book. So
We do.
it was, it could have been anywhere. And I think that's one of the things that no matter where you go, what country you're in, you can have situations like this. And
Mm-hmm.
it's not a one country problem. It's
No.
a worldwide problem.
Yeah. And
So
I
I
think
think
that's a
that
good
was good.
reminder.
Yeah.
I think that's a really good reminder because as much as I hate to say it, we're all very self-focused. And it makes sense because we're dealing with all the things in our world.
Mhm.
And it's easy to think, well, if I lived somewhere else, I wouldn't have this problem. Or if I had more money, I wouldn't have this problem, you know? And that's not necessarily the case. There's so many factors that impact each of us. And it's like that everywhere in the world. And I kind of, now that you point that out, I hadn't really noticed how vague the description like that. And now I'm like, I see that. I wonder, I bet he did that intentionally because he wants us to,
Picture
maybe our, well,
ourselves, our own world.
yeah,
Like, yeah.
yeah. So,
That's kind of how I took it, was he wanted us to be placed, or the setting to be nearby to us or familiar to
yeah,
us. And
yeah.
I think he did a good job with that. I think that the characters were really well built out, and
Hmm.
he gives glimpses throughout. So you learn more and more as you go on, and you just fall in love with these characters, and
You
you
do.
want the best for them, and
Hmm.
you want to shake them sometimes and be like, no, that's stupid.
Yeah,
but it felt very real. Like, you're
it
talking
did.
about young teenagers, and they were like younger than 16, I believe, whenever the
I believe so.
25-year-old
Yeah.
group
Yeah. Cause they
was.
were talking about that they didn't, like, none of them had a license
Mhm.
when they took the car
Which
for
in
something.
Europe, you don't really get that till
I
you're
know that's
18. So
true, but I feel like they were like 14 or 15.
yeah, I feel like they were younger,
Yeah.
but they made decisions that I felt would be appropriate for like the
Hmm.
impulse control, the lack of rationality, the
Yes.
grandiose thinking. All of
Hmm.
that kind of went in with that, and all of
Totally
these
agree.
characters had that kind of personality. And some of
Yes,
them
they
were
did.
bigger than others. And just the way that they dealt with everything, the trauma, some things they knew not to talk about, but then other
Yeah.
things they could bring up. And they knew what
Yeah.
was safe and what was not safe, but they also were a safe place for a friend who maybe didn't have a good home life and was trying not to go home. Um,
Hmm.
so and I think that was reflected, later on we hear more about the adults, kind of
Yeah.
like the parents of these kids. And
Hmm.
that seems to be similar to how they grew up. Like,
Yeah.
you just don't mention it. And it's kind of
Hmm.
that, if you don't talk about it, then maybe it's just not there kind of
Yeah.
attitude. But I feel like these friends broke that cycle. They talked about things as they got older, and they loved each other. And
Hmm.
that helped break out who they could have been. Like,
Hmm.
it broke the mold.
And like you said, not all of them successfully broke the
Yeah.
chains of the generational trauma and
And
that's sad, but
sometimes
that's real life.
I think, I mean, this goes back to Sarah Damoff. She was talking about you can do better than.
You do
And
better,
maybe
yeah.
it's not you're completely breaking the trauma cycle, but
Hmm.
you're a little bit better so that maybe the next
Yes.
generation can do it.
Yeah.
Um, and so I think that that's also good to point out, is that I think a lot of these characters, they're flawed, but they're
Hmm.
trying.
They
Like,
are.
they really are trying, and maybe they make
And
mistakes,
when
but
they suspect one of their own
Mhm.
is giving up, they do everything in their they won't even say it. Like it's not actually said explicitly,
Mhm.
but they make sure that the person knows that they are paying attention
Mhm.
and they do everything they can to make sure that person is known that they are like loved and expected to show up the next morning. When they all show up, that they expect you to be there. And then they also, you know, they're there for you. Like they're going to love you no matter your choice. But they don't have to say the things. They just their actions are
speaking
putting
louder than the
through.
words.
It is.
They're
And
literally showing up for each other.
they are literally, physically. Like when we say literally, we're using it correctly here because they do. They show up and they keep an eye on. And maybe, and like you said, maybe they're worried about someone going home, or there's someone doesn't want to. Okay, you're going to come to my house for a little bit, and I got to say too, what he did, or he does a really good job of having twists in his books, and there are at least a couple of times where you start to think one thing's happening and you're totally wrong. And but then you're so relieved because what you thought was going to happen was going to be way worse. And he is masterful at that.
He is. There's a reason that he's written so many good books.
There is. There is. Because I'm sure you know which one I'm specifically thinking of that I was like, oh, hell no.
Yes.
And it wasn't. So,
I was like,
like, we're good. We're good.
Yeah.
I don't think I could have handled that happening.
I think that this book, it does deal with some heavy topics. So if you're not in the season of life where you can handle that, then maybe that is not for you. But I almost say push through.
Yes.
Because it has such a beautiful story to it, and it wraps up so nicely that
like you will be happy at the end.
Even if it's heavy to sit with, you're going to leave with a good feeling. And I think that's what Frederick Bachman does well. Like, he takes heavy topics. I mean, A Man Called Uva is about a guy who's trying to kill himself. Like, he's literally thinking out all these ways to do it and trying to act on it. And then people keep interrupting him, and he's a curmudgeon, but he's going to be by the books, and, you know, he's going to help his neighbor do whatever. But in the end, it's about found family again and being there for people. And I think he does that very well. So I would encourage people to read this book.
I would. And I will, just to add on to that, this is going to sound crazy. He covers heavy topics, but it actually is a delightful read.
Oh, it's
like
hilarious.
It is delightful. But I mean, like, even the way he writes, it's just delightful. Like, he's talking about something sad, but it's still delightful reading about, like, you know, like, I don't know how to explain it.
It's hard to describe. It's very hard to describe, but he does it so well.
It's just Frederick Bachman's style. And I agree. Like, I would go read it, because we do have a friend who started and was like, oh, I was sad, I stopped reading it. And we're like, that's our friend Allie. And we're like, no, you're missing out. It's so good. And so for real, listen to us. Go read this book. Because this is kind of interesting. We normally will spoil things when we're talking about
Normally
books.
We do, but we didn't. We held back on this one. And I'm like, it's because we want people to go read it and experience it for themselves.
Not that we don't want you to read the others.
But this one, it feels like if we gave something away,
it would ruin the whole book.
It would ruin the whole, like, I want everybody to go and enjoy this book as much as I did.
Same.
Yeah.
It also could be because we've been talking to a lot of authors, and then we don't spoil things usually. But I feel like we gave a lot. Like, we've told a lot about this book without spoiling it.
Giving a lot away. And I mean, it's just a beautiful story, and y'all should all go read it. We are reading the Busybody Book Club for July, which we'll probably talk about in August at this point.
We definitely will, because you said I might read it that quickly, but we got plans, so it'll probably be in August. Which also, you know what we got to do in August? I don't think we've put this one on the calendar, because August is my birthday month.
Yes,
and we're gonna do something with true crime. I'm so proud of Leyna; she's working on that.
I've been watching some shows. I've been reading a few books here and there about true crime. So I'm trying. I'm spreading my wings.
I think you need, on that episode, you need to talk about this book about the rape kit, because I think that's very relevant to.
That's what it kind of. Whenever I
want to know.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
I want to know all the things. So you have to share about that. So that's a little teaser for sometime in August or September or something. Sometime soon. Yes,
we will definitely do a true crime episode. We have to, and we'll we'll do the Busybody Book Club, which
Yes.
again is a super cute read. I think that would be like, I know we read it in July,
Hmm.
but it would be a really cute fall book too, because it's
Really?
just very cozy.
Oh, that's fun.
So.
Okay, well maybe we record it before then and then we just don't release it. Although
And
then
then
that
y'all
gets
can read it.
hard.
Yes.
That gets hard because I like when we talk about our literary lately and then it's like, oh wait, that was a month ago, 2 months ago.
Yep. That does make it
So,
hard. We'll
so
figure it out.
we'll figure it out.
That's the
But
behind the scenes stuff that y'all don't
that's
have to worry about. We'll
yeah.
we'll do all that.
Yeah, that's just
Or,
real. That's
you
real
know,
talk.
I have to say our August book is Jane Austen,
Sense and
and
Sensibility.
I'm not looking forward to
Oh my gosh, I am
it.
so excited. Have you seen the movie with
No.
the
So
Okay,
I really okay, so we have read now Pride and Prejudice, Persuasion, and
Emma.
Emma. I enjoyed all three of them, but I have this like, I have to go read a Jane Austen book. I don't know what it is about my personality that's so against.
Okay, here is what I'm going to tell you to do. And I realize there are going to be people listening and are going to yell when I say this, but I firmly stand behind this decision. I want you to go and watch the the version of the movie with Emma Thompson and Kate Winslet and Hugh Grant and oh my gosh, I just forgot his name and he plays Snape. Why am I forgetting his name? You know what? So you're forgetting too. It's okay.
Yes, I
There's
can
people
picture
yelling
him.
about that too. That wasn't what I thought you were gonna. That wasn't what I was thinking you were gonna yell. You're gonna yell at me telling her to watch the movie first. But I would say watch that movie first because I think it will make you fall in love with the story. And yes, the book is different because obviously they have to cut things and change things, but it is a very good adaptation. And
Okay.
I didn't read the book till like grad school year around then. I didn't start reading
Well,
Jane
maybe
Austen.
I'll
No, but
skip the book and just watch the movie.
I mean, that's fair. But like
I think
that
I would get behind that. Like I would feel better about it, and it
No,
would be less.
I think if
Yeah.
you watch the movie, you might be like, okay, I kind of want to read this story because of all of the Jane Austens. Like that was I will say I struggled the most the first time I read that one because I didn't know. I mean, I should have known how much would have been taken out. And in all honesty, there's a character that I feel like should not get to explain their decisions and then they get to, and I'm just like, in the book, not in the movie. In the movie, it doesn't happen because that was cut. That was on the cutting room floor. And we'll talk about that later. But I think watch the movie first because I plan to. I'm going to rewatch. I watched the movie like a couple weeks ago. I feel like, or
Okay.
like when I say a couple weeks ago, it was maybe sometime in 2025. But I loved the movie so much. My mom and I would rent it from Blockbuster like all the time, and we'd
Okay.
watch it over and over. So
I'll put that on because I have free time, and then I'm like, I don't know what
yes,
to watch. I've been
watch the
watching like
movie.
Friends reruns, and I'm like, I'm
Okay,
tired of
I'm
doing
falling
this.
I'm falling asleep to Friends again. It's been a while since because I have different sitcoms that I fall asleep to.
Mhm.
And I will say in the last year, the one that I keep watching over and over is 2.5 Men. It's a good one to fall
I've
asleep
never
to.
I've never been a big fan of what's his name, so
Charlie Sheen.
yeah, so I didn't watch that when it came
I
out,
will
and I still
say
haven't.
it is a really cute show. I do enjoy it. And I put off watching when Ashton Kutcher came on, and then I finally just powered through and kind of watched them, but I usually fall asleep anyway. And I actually really liked when they brought a character on that I was like, this person's really funny, but not, I mean, that was way late in the series, but I've been falling asleep to that for a long time because it would put me to sleep, I guess.
Okay.
And then I've been doing How I Met Your Mother, and I was like, you know what? I'm ready to go back to Friends. So I'm in season one Friends right now.
I just
But
got into season 2. I started watching because at some point we're going to do a Gilmore Girls season 1
yes, we are.
episode, and
And our
then
plans have changed because it was going to be Emily, but we won't
we're
tell
gonna
yet.
we're gonna keep it a secret,
But we have a guest returning, and
and
that's all
we're
we'll
so
say.
excited to have her.
And
I
we're so
can't wait.
excited. But we're not going to tell you yet. It's a big surprise. So, but yeah.
But yes. So that's all very exciting. Oh, and we also didn't mention our former guest, Christine Weller, has a book coming out,
Yes. How could we forget to say this?
and it is available for pre-order now. If you go, what was her? I'll have to put her website in the show notes,
I will.
where you can go and pre-order, because I know it's on Amazon because that's where I got it from.
Okay.
And it's on Kindle Unlimited too, so you can do all that.
Dude,
So
I'm buying it. I'm supporting my friend Chris.
I bought it.
Chris is one of our, I will say she has to be our bestie. Like
Yes.
forever. For the restie, she's a book bestie for the restie. We're gonna go visit her either in Oregon or Hawaii or both. Like, and then we're gonna take a trip to New York
I think
together.
doing both would be great.
And then we're taking the trip to New York, right?
Oh,
Like that's
right.
the other plan.
Yes.
So we got lots of plans.
Yes.
With Chris. So yeah. But you got to go pre-order it now because
it's gonna be good.
Her. And we're so excited. And it's not the one that we've read yet. So.
It's not the one that we've read. She is doing it's a beachy murder mystery. So excited. I'm excited to read this.
I am too. Good. I know. It's gonna be so fun. So
very excited.
Well, we should definitely do an episode about that book too. And bring her back.
We're just going to bring all the people back.
All the people back because we love them. So, yeah. All right. Well, I guess we should let our people go. Whatever.
Yeah. We tend to talk a little bit. It happens, but it's fine.
It does. We're more than a book club. We're friends. It's all good.
Well, we're glad that you all joined us for this episode, and join us next week whenever we are with Jennifer Jabaley talking about What's Yours Is Mine. Speaking of mystery books, thrillers.
Right here.
And you will enjoy it, and you'll love Jennifer. Like, she is just so sweet.
She is.
So, yeah, we'll see you next week for more of More Than a Book Club podcast.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
So thank you for listening to More Than a Book Club podcast. We are recorded and produced in McKinney, Texas.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening.